Welcome to The Political Mechanic. I am your host, Stephen Thane. America is no longer the limited government system envisioned by our founding fathers. We have adopted too many big government policies. Policies that take the people's power and give it to the state. We are locked in a life and death power struggle. We lose and tyranny will be our lot. But many of us are not even aware of the danger, and fewer know what to do about it. The founders of our nation built America upon the philosophy of natural law, which is the only belief system that supports limited government. Liberalism, socialism, leftism, progressivism, and many others not only reject natural law, but actively fight against it. One reason President Trump was and is so vigorously opposed by the left, which wants to gut the people's power and give it to the state, is because they see him as a threat to their power. This is a power struggle, pure and simple. They tried to lock him up with bogus criminal charges. They tried to remove him from the ballot in 26 states. They tried to bankrupt him through a bogus civil suit. They never give him any credit for his successful policies. They call him a fascist and a racist and more. There is not another man alive that would have been able to withstand the media legal onslaught that he has endured and survived. This onslaught will be unleashed on the next Republican that is perceived as a threat to the big government elites in Washington, who have been running our country for decades, once Trump is gone. We must rediscover the power of natural law as both a logical answer to liberalism and a unifying power for those that believe in limited government. Consider the hysterical outcry from the left over Elon Musk finding $150 billion in fraud and waste. This might sound like a lot of money, but what percent do you think it is of the total budget? It's only 2.2% of the total budget. It is a rounding error. Victor Davis Hanson says we have to find at least $1 trillion in savings. If we don't, I believe the federal bureaucracy and debt will return with a vengeance and will not be able to be stopped as soon as Trump leaves office. The limited government successes we have right now is built upon around one person, Trump. We need to build it around long-lasting principles for it to survive. I believe that rediscovering the ideals in natural law will give us the needed fuel to restore the republic. So what is it? Natural law is the belief in a living, loving creator who established an eternal system of unchangeable laws of cause and effect, which can be discovered. And when implemented in civil government, the result is greater peace and prosperity and freedom for everyone. When violated, the result is tyranny with its discontent, violence, and oppression. Our massive debt and political polarization are signs that we have abandoned natural law as a people. Now, natural law is not a religion. It is a worldview that is compatible to many religions. It has no religious doctrine, has no symbols, no sacraments, but it does have a belief system that all men and women should be respected by giving them choices and experiencing the natural consequences of those choices. Unlike every other political philosophy, which either wants to empower the state to control the people or to empower themselves at the expense of the people. The last 5 years, we have seen what our future tyranny could look like in the future if we completely lose our natural law foundation. Politically motivated people in the Department of Justice have already used the justice system to go after parents who complained to school boards for placing pornography in school libraries. They've hated Trump and his supporters and tried to lock them up. They've created false charges to make Trump a criminal, and even 26 states tried to take Trump off the ballot. They tried to make girls play against boys in sports, and they let millions of illegal aliens cross our border, many of them criminals, to change our demographic system and provide more voters for liberalism. They went after anti-abortion protesters while not prosecuting Antifa or the BLM for their violent acts. They demonstrate hostility toward religion and religious people. The truth is, if leftists get back into power, they will come after anyone that opposes their version of the American system of justice. We have seen people in Europe getting arrested for praying silently in public. This can and may happen in America unless we wake up. Trump will not protect us after he is gone. An understanding of natural law is the only inoculant against this type of tyranny. A majority of Americans must understand how it works, or limited government will be lost. Yet natural law is not taught in school or anywhere else that I'm aware of. Without it, we stand almost defenseless against the forces of socialism, progressivism, and liberalism. In my life, I have witnessed unprecedented government overreach and growth, and a growing disconnect between the original foundation of the Republic, because we have lost a working knowledge of natural law. It becomes more critical than ever to revive and reinforce these natural law principles. In an age marked by political polarization and division, a renewed commitment to natural law is not simply an academic exercise, it is a moral and practical imperative for safeguarding our liberty and providing a common narrative in a pluralistic society. The founders believed in natural law and studied Cicero, who taught, "Natural law is not a product of human thought, nor is it any enactment of peoples, but something eternal which rules the whole universe by its wisdom and command and prohibition. Nor is it one law at Rome and another at Athens, one law today and another thereafter, but the same law, everlasting and unchangeable, will bind all nations and all times." Unquote. Thank you for listening. I will return to this topic often and try to paint a picture of how the forces of limited government can unite around the concepts of natural law that can bind us together at all times and all places. I appreciate the genius of President Trump and what he is trying to do. However, we need something more enduring. We can be unified by what unified our founding fathers, and will unify us to them and us to the next generation and other limited government advocates. Thank you so much.